Hey guys, there's a new Jethro Tull single out. Yes, this dropped. I guess it dropped yesterday. Not sure exactly when it dropped, but I just listened to it. Just listened. I didn't do a live listen because people were saying, "Why didn't you play the music?" And then you have to explain the whole copyright thing. And we're all beyond that, aren't we? I don't know. Anyways, this is called Sad City Sisters. Bit of alliteration there, so you have have the right teeth in. Oh, sorry, I've got to keep the face. I've got to do all videos like this now because of the spot on my face. Because I'm 50 years old and I still get it's all the hard living that I do. So anyway, Jethro Tull. I've got a new single. It's a song from their new album, the Zealot Gene, or the Gellet Zine that I nearly said then. I think the Gellet Zine sounds very good. Um, Sad City Sisters. Right. Right. Mm. Oh. Oh. There's a lot going on here. And musically, it's dominated by, is it a tin whistle or the penny whistle or something? It's not a flute. It's got a nice tune to it. It's got that kind of baroque folk thing going on. A little bit of baroque and roll. Sorry, Herb's studying. He's doing baroque music in music at the moment, so I keep doing baroque and roll jokes because I'm a dad and it's my job. So yeah, it's a jaunty little tune, and it owes a lot to that the folky Jethro Tull experience. You know the one, the album Songs from the Wood. A little bit of Aqualung. The lyrics are social in construct, social observation. Again, a little bit like the Aqualung. Aqualung. Snot running down his little chin. Do, do, do. It goes something like that. But yeah, so this is called Sad City Sisters. Sad City Sisters. And it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the walk of shame home of two young ladies after a night out. And I'm thinking, oh, this could be interesting. This could be interesting. But then as the lyrics unfurl in front of you, again, musically, it's all right. It's a jaunty little number. It's what you would expect. It is what you would expect from Jethro Tull. It's folky, it's jaunty. See, I got the tune. The tune's gone in. One play. I like this. Mr. Anderson, God bless his cotton socks, he's doing tunes that you can whistle, and I like that. But the lyrics, I got a problem. Oh, you see, because I'm like a feminist ally, feminist. And whilst observationally it's quite interesting, but some of the choice of words, right? It starts off well, right? Right, hard to choose between them. So again, the observer is almost in a predatory role. Tramps on a night out of season. Tramps. So he's describing these young, I assume that they're young women, as tramps. Not tramps in the Aqualung variety, but again, he's riffing. I'm almost doing like a lyrical analysis here. He's riffing on the idea of tramps because, Aqualung, egg running down his greasy chin. I think that's how it goes. Out of season, so they're obviously not dressed for the cold winter's night. Bare legs and arms at the taxi stand, shoes in hand, cold curb to freeze on. Again, I like the imagery, but tramps on a night out. That indicates that they're, the language used as they're of ladies of easy virtue. What desperation, what souls possessed with lonely demons are put to test. Why should we worry? Why should we care that warrior horsemen shame defile them? Again, we're presenting women as victims. This is a bit of an old-fashioned white knight approach, and there's nothing wrong with being a white knight sometimes, but you've got to remember that granddad or great granddad in this case, women have moved on. They should be allowed to go out and bare their flesh in a freezing night. That's because they're adults. These are adult women, and women can enjoy sex too. They can enjoy one night stands the same as men, and to see them as victim, you got to frame it very carefully, because you come across as old man shouts at cloud. It comes across as a little bit sexist. So send them home to. Oh, sorry, I've jumped a line here. Why should we care to find? Well, I tip the cabbie plus his fare. Well, again, in the UK, I don't know if you do this in other parts of the world. If we have a cab, we often say, "I'll keep the change" or whatnot. Mainly, I do it because, if you give them, if the fare's I don't know, £4.50 and you give them a fiver, it's never like that. It's usually a tenner, isn't it? God, when do you ever have a fiver? Usually say, "Oh, here's a quid" or whatnot. It's just what we do. Why tip the cabbie plus his fare? Because we're polite. It's the decent thing to do. Obviously, Ian Anderson probably gets driven around by chauffeurs or something, doesn't he? Does he drive? I don't think he drives. Does he drive? I don't know. But why? Why tip the cabbie plus his fare? Why? Why do it? So send them home to stumble in and toss their knickers in the bin. Now, well, they've either shat their knickers, or their knickers bear the consequence of their easy virtue. It shows evidence of the moral morass that they're living in. Oh, judgmental Ian Anderson. They could have the painters in, couldn't they? There's many different ways you might throw away your underwear, but it tends to indicate that there is a little bit of regret. It's a tinge with regret. Repentance looms, then melts away, mocked by dark, unearthly silence, replaced by incubus at play. Wow, there's a lot to unpick there. Repentance looms and melts away. Well, obviously, you're sad for a moment, but hey, once you're away, you put it out of your mind. Mocked by dark, unearthly silence, replaced by incubus at play. What is the incubus? Are they having a diddle? Are they having a diddle? I'm thinking they're diddling. Bad sisters stare, graffiti walls, stare in return when weekend calls. Again, they live for the weekend. The empty bragging, the empty lives. Empty to you, Ian, but for some people, again, for the working classes, the weekend was a time for them to unpack. Again, this goes back for as long as time immemorial. People worked the land or worked, in factories. It moved on, the industrialisation. The working classes took refuge in the beer, the beer bottle, or and the pint glass. It's how we got away. Because we didn't have the luxuries of the multi-millionaire classes. It's how we escape. Again, maybe to them their lives aren't empty. Who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? This is it. We all have our role. We all can't be multi-millionaire rock stars, who made it because we played the flute on one leg. What value do you give to the world? These people they might be nurses. You never know. They maybe actually do proper jobs and do, proper work. The fictional. You can't judge. What I'm saying is, you can't judge a book by the cover. The drunken woman on a night out could be a brain surgeon. Whereas Ian Anderson is nothing more than a musician. And remember, they are, in the grand scheme of things, they're just above tapeworms and just below income tax inspectors in the grand scheme of things. Learn about two chords and you can write a hit song. 3 chords, 4 chords and it's jazz. Empty bragging, it's nice. An anguish echo through empty malls. Oh, that's the Americanism. But then he needs the malls to rhyme with walls and calls, because we've transported it to America now. I think that's a bit lazy. I do think that's a bit of a laziness. Maybe it's just to appeal to the American listener. What desperation! What souls possessed? Are they desperate? Are people who are having a good time on a night out? Are they desperate? Are they victim? With lonely demons are put what lonely demons put to tests. Are they lonely? Though you can be in a room full of people and still be lonely. What should we worry? Why should we care that warrior horsemen shame defile them? Again, men take advantage of women. And again, I'll talk about the video in a minute when we get to the end. 6-gun notches say, or again, it's kind of a reference to, the notches on the bedpost, the various conquests. 6-gun. That could be an allusion to, well, because 6-gun is the cowboy. He mentions warrior horsemen. Now, when you think of warrior horsemen, you think of like the Mongols, Genghis Khan, raping and pillaging. Horsemen, you could also have cowboys, 6-gun. But 6-gun, I think it also almost alludes to like gangbangs and things like that. It can work on many different levels. It was hard to choose between them. Again, predatory male. Tramps on the night out of season. So we're echoing what we've already done. Get them home. I'm jumping ahead. Get them home to stumble in, tossing eggs in the bin. Again, we're doing that again. Demons loom. Enough disrupts the earthly silence. Guilty Eros had his day. So they've had enough of this life. Hands, two souls, to agape. Agape. Again, agape is, isn't it like kind of brotherly, platonic brotherly love? The Greek, isn't it from Greek? So they are united in their sisterly love. It wouldn't be brotherly love, it'd be sisterly love if they're girls. Or women, mind you, could be two men in dresses, couldn't it? So it gets complicated these days. But yeah, it ends with them turning their back on this lifestyle and instead embracing each other in platonic love. Whew! Bit sexist that, Ian. I think you ought to get out more. I think you need to stumble home and put your knickers in the bin, mate. I think you need to live a little. It's very hard, to judge. You shouldn't really judge other people by your own term. We can all be. It's very easy to be judgmental, but it's also very easy to forget youth and the exuberance of youth. The video is probably the most disturbing because it involves a hand puppet, female hand puppet that's kind of handed about and abused and handled, and again manhandled. It's meant to represent women as victim, and it's a very old-fashioned view, isn't it? Because we're meant to be. We're meant to be beyond that. And whilst the predatory male is an issue, I don't think we should view all women as victim. That's wrong. That's not right. Women should be able to go out, have a good time, wave their knickers in the air, just the same as a man can. That's the whole point of equality. They should be able to do and say as they please. They should be able to wear what they want. And the male gaze and male desire and male, like I say, entitlement shouldn't even come into it, That's it. But we have, again, it's almost like a form of victim blaming. And that is, again, it seems to come with the territory when men write about women. They seem to frame them in this fashion. And it's very disturbing and it's very old. And again, I kind of expected more from Ian Anderson. He's a clever fella. He's not stupid. So maybe I'm reading it wrong. Feel free to correct me. I'm sure you will in the comments below, and I'll pretend to care. I don't. But yeah, the video kind of doubles down on the problematic lyrics, and this doll is manhandled and abused in various ways. And and it's just tossed around. Nah, not good. And again, I think this is the problem with a lot of people now who make these videos and these artists, because they kind of there's no music business interaction. There's no manager. There's no manager going between them and the record company. The record company doesn't have any veto. These artists tend to exist in their own sphere. I'm going to go there, echo chamber. Ugh. But they exist in their own world, and so they end up producing art like this, which is a little bit problematic, a little bit, old-fashioned, uncool, and something you'd expect maybe back in the 70s. This is very retro, not just in the sound of it. Wait a minute, that riff, Battlestar Galactica. He's ripped it from Battlestar Galactica. Who remembers that? the TV show, not the original one. You know, the one with the guy who was in the A-Team. That one. There we go. Go and look that one up. So yeah, it's a bit of a throwback. Whilst I get it, I have issues with the lyrics. Women should be independent and free to do as they wish. Really, you should have written it from the male predatory angle and turned it around. You did the old subvert our expectations. But you get a little bit of a hint of that, and that's where I thought it was going. I thought it would have been clever. But then it's the women as victim, and that's no, it's not right. We don't do that. Not now. So, Ian, naughty boy, go off, rewrite those lyrics, and do it again. Naughty. Thankfully, no one's listening to Jethro Tull, and so he won't get cancelled because nobody cares. Neither do I. Neither should you. And on that, there's only one more thing left to say, and that is, I guess it's prog on. Prog on? All right, prog on.